Across the Park podcast is proud to be sponsored by Globe Gas and Heating. For the best kitchen and bathroom renovations, boiler servicing and repair, and central and underfloor heating in the Northwest, head over to globecentralheating.com and quote Across the Park for a free quote. Hello, welcome to Across the Park podcast. Myself, Ian Mills, really excited for the start of the Women's Super League. I'm down at Finch Farm. Thanks for Everton for inviting me down here to speak to one of my favourite Everton players and probably the best Everton player I think that we do have. It's the great Megan Finnigan. Sorry, I'm starstruck,
Right,
Meg. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to the season starting. I'm sure you're the same.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming to be fair.
Feels it?
Obviously a late start, isn't it, because of the World Cup and then currently the international break, but I think we should be ready to go come next week.
Looking forward to it. Look, so talk about you first, if you don't mind, before we get into the season ahead and things coming. I was reading up on you, and you were 9 when you started playing for Everton. Mm-hmm. The Super League and the attention that the women's game has got now wasn't quite there then. So what was it that made you want to be a footballer? Were you just naturally good at it, or was it family? Or
yeah, I think I found out when I was about 6. I obviously was gifted, in terms of football. I played with a boys team that was, close family friend, and I loved it. But it would have been hard in my family to not love football because we are all football mad. My brother and my dad played, so it was more just I obviously was good at it, but something that I love to do. Obviously as a kid, you kind of do all the sports, don't you, and stuff like that. You go swimming classes, and I think I did horse ride and whatever.
A lot, yeah.
None of them ever lasted. The only one that I truly loved was football, so that was...
Well, it's good for us. I meant what I said. I think you are one of our best players. So it's good for us that you did choose football. As you've risen through sort of the age groups, like the 15s, the 18s, 21s, into the first team, it seems like football has just got women's football has got so big in such a short space of time. Yeah. What was it like to be on the inside of that? And could you feel the momentum sort of gathering year on year?
Probably only until I'd say maybe the last few years is probably when I've realised it. Obviously, off the back of the Euros, obviously the WSL getting the TV deal and whatnot. Yeah, you've definitely felt it and you can see it. But up until then, like the change has been crazy.
Yeah.
I used to come here when I first came up to the first team when I was 16, and it's just like I say, it's just night and day the difference. We literally were training in the night time.
Yeah.
Till about 10 o'clock, and the change has been phenomenal. But I think sometimes it's hard when you're in it to actually witness the change. But it's exciting times, and I think right now we're probably at the peak.
Yeah.
And I think when I was younger, I think my dad said to me, like 5-10 years, Meg, like I'm telling you, like women's football, it's gonna take off, and it has.
Well, I think my personal opinion is in 5 or 10 years it's going to be even bigger again. And I'm not just saying this because you're here. I feel like you and the group of players across the WSL now are probably responsible for the growth. And I know you say when you're in the moment, it's hard to sort of realise it, but when you sit down, when you retire and you've got your glass of wine looking back, you must be so proud. Do you feel a little bit of that now? Do you feel like you are a part of the big group, especially with the England national team as well? The eyesight on the football. Do you feel as part of the WSL that you are a big part of it? Do you feel quite proud?
Yeah, I do. I think the moments when it hits me is probably after the games, when we play at Walton Hall Park, and it takes about 30 minutes to get back into the change rooms because there's just so many, young girls, fans, young boys, fans that want your picture, want your autograph, and that's when it kind of hits you like, wow, like this has changed. And I think we are, where we are now, I think we are the lucky ones, because I think in a way we probably experienced both. Like I say, we've seen the growth. So in 10 years time, it will just be the norm for the girls that are playing then. But I think every woman who's played football has obviously played a part in developing the game, and the success of the Lionesses has definitely helped with that as well.
Well, fans like me, I'm guilty of 5-10 years ago, I didn't follow Everton women. I'm a massive Evertonian, but I didn't follow Everton women. And then the coverage and playing in Walton Hall Park, which is not too far from mine, and I support Everton women now as much. I'd be so proud of my little girl, just as proud if she played for Everton as I would my little boy playing for Everton. But what I want to say to you is Walton Hall Park. I live not far from there. And when someone told me Everton women are going to build a stadium there, I thought, it's not going to work. It's the back of a sports centre. It's a park. I go there, I take my little boy, he gets his face painted, he sings the songs. It's great to be and watch football there. Is it good to play there?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And it's crazy because when I first came to Everton, 9 years old, the academy used to train there, like on the AstroTurf pitch. So it's kind of like crazy that, full circle really. But it needed to happen. We needed to move to Walton Hall Park to get more fans and encourage more fans to come, because before that we've played at Marine, we were at Southport, and it was just so hard to attract fans. Whereas now, it's in such a good location.
You've got a home, haven't you now? It's Everton's home.
And that's what it feels like. Like you say, it's such a good atmosphere. I like it because it's not too big. It's not too small. It feels like really like intense, and like I say, you can feel the fans kind of on top of you, which I really love. So.
Yeah, there's like a singing section, isn't there, in the corner of the stand. I love the nighttime games there. I just love the nighttime games there. The special. A nighttime game that wasn't played at Walton Hall Park. There was two of them. The first one I want to talk about is the one at Goodison. Yeah. What was it like to play in a Merseyside derby for Everton at Goodison Park?
It was special. I think it was made more special by the fact we got a record attendance, 22,000, I think, something like that. So that was amazing. We played at Goodison before, but we've never obviously got to play the derby there. So that was really special. And look, we were disappointed not to get the 3 points, but it was a special night. And as you say, I don't know why, but something about it being under the lights, it just makes it feel more special.
I think that's an Everton thing, Yeah. You look back at the history of Everton and the men's team and some of the special nights they had. It always seems like the great games of our history are under the lights, and they always feel special. I remember the Manchester City game was at Goodison a couple of years ago on a Saturday, and I went to that one, but the derby felt more different, more special. Another one, what I'm going to ask you, is the derby at Anfield. Again, I took my little boy. We got tickets for the away end. The away end was sold out. I had the feel, and he was only 4 at the time, and he was feeling it was a derby. Finnigan Cop End, what was that like? Special?
I'd probably say that was like probably the highlight of my career in terms of like a single moment. If I could pick a single moment and like do it all again, it would be that moment. If I think about scoring before a game, I'll never score. So I was just happy to be on the pitch because I was injured the week before, and obviously it happened quite early on in the game. As you could tell by my reaction, I didn't really know what to do. I just started sprinting away from everyone. I was just like, but no, that was special, and I think more so the team performance that day was so like professional. Like we literally, they literally couldn't get near us.
I remember Jess Park was brilliant that day. And then what was special for me, probably more so for you, was at the end with the fans. And I remember standing there with my little boy, and I was like, this is a connection. This is people who are just coming because it's Everton. These are fans who care, and you can see it coming back. Moving into this season, I remember watching an interview with Brian Sorensen, and he was sort of saying, these things take time. Everton aren't going to win the league in my first year. We're not going to do X, Y, and Z. It'll take time. I've seen a style of football last season which is different to what you've played before. Do you feel like there's good times ahead under Brian?
Yeah, definitely. I think what he's saying is true. It's definitely a process. It's something that will take time. We had a lot of new players coming in when he came in, and we've had quite a few coming over summer as well. So it takes time to adapt, to get to know each other. But as you say, the one clear thing is that the style of play. We all know how he wants to play. I think everyone who plays against us know how we want to play, which some people might see as a weakness, but for us that's our philosophy. We're not going to change.
Of course.
And this season, we've made a few tweaks to it to try and be a little bit more adaptable. But with the new signs that we've brought in, hopefully we can add to what we did last year and start to be even more competitive.
Well, it was 6 last year. So it's the aim's got to be higher, hasn't it? And I think looking at the team and the signings we've brought in, there's a signing that we haven't brought in, but the return of someone I'm excited about. Tony Duggan's going to be back this season. Is it good to have Tony back?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a new signing, really, because obviously she didn't feature at all last year. It's great to have her back. Tony's a character for sure, and in terms of her experience, what she's achieved and done in her career, she's yeah, it's good because I think we are a young team probably overall, so it's good to get her experience back. And yeah, it's been great to see her back on the pitch. I think she megged me in her first session back, so
welcome back.
She still got it, you know what I mean?
So we've spoke about Walton Hall Park, and we've spoke about going into the season already. But just to end on the show, because I do appreciate you're busy and your time, so just to end on it, we're not far away now. This show will be going out when there's a few days left. I think there's a handful of tickets left on evertonfc.com. I'd suggest to go and get them because it is such a great atmosphere to watch the women play. Are you excited by the return of the season for you personally? Is it exciting this time of the year now?
Yeah, it is. I think, it's been a long time coming. I'm almost like, when I think about it, I almost get like butterflies. It's like, like that good nervous feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll all just be desperate for it now. I think the fans have been desperate for it.
Definitely, yeah.
And like I said, I think we're ready. We played our last pre-season game last week and we look good. So hopefully everyone returns from international and we have a few days together. And we hope to see as many fans there as possible. I'm
sure it'll be sold out. I've said there's a number of tickets left at the time we're recording this. Probably going to be sold out by the time this is out, but I'll be down there with my little boy as always. Just to end on the show, Meg, I know you've talked about the connection that you guys have to the Everton fans now.
Yeah.
Have you just got a bit of a message for the supporters who are going to come again this season and support you?
Yeah, just to say obviously thank you for your continued support. I think, what you said about the derby, what was nice afterwards is when we went and celebrated with the away fans. It is that connection, I know most of the fans, you recognise them because they become week on week. And yeah, I think just hopefully this year again, it'll be another positive year and just, stick by us through the ups and the downs and hopefully, we'll deliver some good memories from
I hope so. She's promised now it's on camera. We're going to get good memories. Look, I support Everton women as much as I support Everton men. Now, anyone who's watching this and hasn't been down to Walton Park, and I'm sure there might be a game of Goodison this season as well, I really encourage you to get behind the women. It's going to be a good season. I put my name on it as well. Thanks Megan, for joining us in the Across the Park podcast.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. As always, up the toffees.
Up the toffees.